You're welcome, ladies and gentlemen that have been allocated. This is breakout room 2, and this is a very special room where we're going to be listening to Mrs. Kagina speak to us. So to everybody that has joined this room, feel welcome, feel at Christ, feel at home. And as we open our hearts to welcome the Holy Spirit, use our speaker of today. Mrs. Kagina, you are welcome, and we are greatly honored to have you speak to us in this breakout session.
Thank you. Thank you, Belinda. Belinda, how much time do I have?
45 minutes.
Okay, I'll try not to use all the 45. I'm sure people are late, want their dinner. Some are early sleepers. So let's see what we can do. Hi, everyone. I hope you're doing well. It's very nice to meet with you once again. I was last here in August last year. So it's once again, I'm really grateful that I have opportunity to meet with you, and I really, really want to thank Inspire for the opportunity to share a few things with you. And thank you for challenging me. Inspire was always challenging me. I keep feeling I'm not ready, but they keep coming back, so you can blame them. We're going to have a few slides. Belinda, you're sharing the slides, right? I think that's what we agreed, that you share, I speak, because if I do both, I multitask too much and I might show you something that I am not supposed to show you. So why don't we go straight to the slides?
Yes. It is well, there's someone from the team, the technical team, that is going to be doing that, and they should be putting up the slides right away.
Okay. Whoever is doing the slides, do the slides now. It's taking quite a bit of time, isn't it?
Just give us 1 minute to sort that out. Apologies for that.
No worries. Okay, there we are. You can probably put them in slide mode so that, perfect. All right, okay, so once again, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Inspire Africa, for this chance. And let me say right at the beginning what kind of session this is and what it's going to be, so that you know what you have walked into. Because I do have 45 minutes, I'll try and use less, but I would like as much as possible to involve you in a conversation and actually give you homework. Because I think when we're able to carry something out of a session, then it stays, because you have work to do. It keeps triggering the things that we learn. So I'm hoping it will be that kind of session. And what I want to share with you is not a new inspiration that gives you goosebumps and you leave saying, what a wonderful session. What I want to share with you are small things, things you already know and somehow do not do. So I'll be asking you questions along the way, and I'll be reading your answers in the chat So get ready to go into the chat at some point. And let me hope that you will be honest with me, because that's the only way you own some of the things we want to take out of here. So that is our arrangement for the evening. Now, let me tell you what we're working on. Can we please move to slide number 2? Okay. So I will be asking you to bring one real decision. Our subject this evening is ethics, it's sustainability. It is, I had set a time and then I forgot to switch it on. So there we go. Our subject is ethics, sustainability, and legacy. These are big words. Each one of them is a topic on its own. And they actually sound like conference papers, you know? You invite a big shot and tell him, talk about ethics, and he gives you 1 hour or 45 minutes teaching on ethics, and that's a big one. Then we talk about sustainability, another conference, then legacy, and much even bigger conference. These are big words. But I want to bring them into a realm of ordinary, because these 3 are actually about the very small things that are very easy to miss. So I want to promise you something, and it's a tool you can use tomorrow morning before your first meeting. And it's not complicated, something you know and probably pass by. And at the end, I have one ask, something that is practical I would like you to do with me. So keep your ears open, listen out for it, because I'll come back and collect. I hope so far we are together. But a tool is no use to you in the abstract. Somebody is not being clear about a tool, you know, it doesn't land. So it needs something real to work on. And so let me hope that you're considering the one thing that you want to take out of here and the tool that you will put to use. Let's move to slide number 3. Okay. Before any of that, I want you to bring something into the room with you. So think of one decision sitting on your desk right now. Something that is undone. Something you have been postponing. You know, something that you say, I will do tomorrow. You know those things? Really think about them, not just, I'm not just running through a talk right now. Think clearly. Don't think of a crisis, because crises have a way of presenting themselves, they present themselves to you, they force themselves on you. But I mean the ordinary things. The one that you say, I will handle this next week. And then you say, next week you say, I'll handle this the week after. Or think about a conversation you have not had. You know you have to have it, but you have not had it. Or think of that one person you have not dealt with. Or think of that report you have not signed. Or the one that you signed, but you're not comfortable with. Think of something. And if you've ever worked in any sort of office, even if you're new at work, these things have all presenting themselves to you. The things I used to have on my desk a number of trays. There's the in tray, there's the out tray, then there's the pending tray. The one that you say, I'll keep this when I have time, I'll come back to it, or I don't really have enough information to deal with it, or I can't bring myself to deal with this now. It's too stressful. You have it? Give me a thumbs up if you know what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm not alone. Now, I don't know if you have a piece of paper somewhere. Yes, Dr. Sarah, concept to write. Go in the chat and write it there. Write it. I actually want you to write it down. This is something we're going to come back to. Actually, we're going to come back to it 3 times tonight. And by the end, I'd like you to do something about that one thing. And let me tell you where my thinking about all this comes from, because it is not from an office. It's not from an office, because many of you know me from being a public servant, but my life has transitioned. So tonight, let me allow you to meet a new me. Next slide. I think you had actually gone to that slide already. The slide, that one, no one photographs the soil. Stay on that one. No one photographs the soil. And it doesn't seem to make sense until you hear what I'm going to say. So I'm a farmer. I'm a consultant now. I'm doing a lot of consulting work and everything, but I'm also a farmer. And some of you know that this is the month where we begin planting, because the rains start usually mid of August. This year they've started early, it seems, at least in Kampala. And farming has taught me things that all my years in office did not. I grow maize to feed chicken. I have layers, so I grow maize to feed them. So growing maize has taught me so much about life, about leadership, about basically everything. So when the harvest is good, and I have to say this year's harvest, because we have 2 seasons, the first season of the March rains, the second season of the August rains. And the March rains, the harvest has been unusually good. Usually it's the short rains and it is poor, but this one has been good. And we're excited about it. So when you have a good harvest, we take pictures of the maize in full growth, full bloom, with the big cobs and dark green leaves, and it looks an amazing field. And then usually after harvest, we take pictures of the many bags of maize, dried maize that we have shelled and put into sacks, and we have these big pictures and we celebrate. It's very much like when you finish a building, cutting the ribbon, opening the building, or at graduation, which is our favorite here in Africa, in Uganda. You see people decked out in graduation gowns, and these days even the men carry flowers, and you meet people with garlands of flowers, usually plastic flowers. It's a huge celebration. Or we are launching a big report, or with glossy cover and everything. And honestly, that is fine. We should celebrate, because it means this is the outcome of something. But nobody photographs the process. That's what I meant. Nobody photographs the soil. Nobody takes a picture of the ground being prepared for months. I can tell you about maize. Right about now, we are going to clear the harvest, the maize which we harvested. You know, you leave a lot of stalks in the ground. So we're going to clear that. Going to come with a tractor, plow once, plow a second time. And because we are modern farmers of sorts, we bring a harrow once, harrow twice. Then I'm going to hire about 40 casual workers to come and dig holes. And once they finish digging the holes for planting the maize, then they go plant 2 or 3 seeds in each hole and cover. And then we give it a few weeks, then the maize sprouts. When it has sprouted, it usually sprouts with the weeds. So we do a first weeding, we give it some time, we do a second weeding. In between those weedings, Uganda has been attacked by armyworms for the last number of years. So you deal with the armyworm. Then you usually after the second weeding, you know, the cover is good enough, so there won't be much more weeding you have to do. Then you sit and wait for it to mature and put on cob and then dry and become very dry, not half dry, but very dry. And then you bring in another gang and you harvest, you cut down, then you break it off, then you remove the covering, then you bring a machine, then you shell it. When you've shelled it, you lay it out on canvas, then you dry. Then after drying, you put in the bags and then you put in storage. And then, of course, you start grinding for the birds to eat. Have you had that long process? If somebody had told me about this process before I went into maize growing, I may not have gone into it, because I liked to see the bags at the end. And yet, if it had not been done, if we didn't do all this and done properly, there would be nothing to photograph. So I just wanted to share that with you, so I want that to sit with you. I don't want to give you a good, decent, inspiring talk about management and everything. I want you to deal with that process, because it is what produces what you celebrate. The leaders you celebrate, the ones you like to meet and shake hands and say, pray for me, lay your hands on me, I want your anointing. Walk their journey, because you have not seen it. Once you see it, you might want to make another decision whether you want to walk their journey. Are we together? So now I could stop here and it would be a good talk, but I think something more than good management is being asked of us in this conference. Slide number 5. Slide number 5 is headed, what is creation waiting for? You all know where that comes from. Let me say why I think this matters now, and not only as good management practice. Romans chapter 8 verses 19 is the scripture that has been given to this summit. And it says creation is waiting. Everything that God made. Can you imagine? God created the heavens and the earth and the trees and the birds and human beings and animals and plants and everything. He says that is waiting. That is waiting. What is it waiting for? For the sons of God to be revealed. So God created all this, the stars, the universe with its galaxies whose number we don't even know, with their planets and the stars and the suns of all these. And it says it's in waiting mode. It's in the waiting room. It's waiting for the sons of God to be revealed. It's not waiting for a better strategy. It's waiting for the harvest, the outcome, the final product. It's not waiting for a better strategy. It's not waiting for another framework or another summit, as wonderful as they are. And you and I have sat in many. It's waiting for people. Africa is waiting for people. I don't know how many times we say we're waiting for money. We're waiting for resources. We're waiting for so many things. It's waiting for people. And Isaiah 43:19 says, he is doing a new thing. If he's doing a new thing, then the question that follows is a very simple one. It is the question I want us to sit with tonight. This new thing that he is doing, who can he trust with it? Who can he trust? If God is doing a new thing, who can he trust with it? You know, the way he trusted Adam in the Garden of Eden, he created everything. Then he called Adam and said, I am giving you my garden, tend it. And Adam, as we know, kind of messed it up a little bit. He had a problem with obedience. Now it says God is doing a new thing in Africa, in Nigeria, in South Africa, in Rwanda, in Uganda. God is doing a new thing. Who can he trust with it? And when I say us, I do not mean the church building on Sunday, so don't think about the government rests on the shoulders. No, I'm not talking about that kind of church. I mean the believer at the desk on Thursday morning with a decision in front of them and nobody watching. Do you know what it's like to be in an organization, a high-stakes organization with eyes scrutinizing you you feel like their eyes watching you all the time. And you have Christians there who are not standing up to be counted, who don't actually stand out as Christians. Nobody actually ever knows when you tell others that, we go to church with that person, they say, that one? So I'm talking about the believer on Thursday morning or on a Friday morning with the decision in front of them and nobody watching. Can he trust us? Can he trust us? So here we are on this conference, and it's very easy to say, oh, we are together, praise the Lord, we're singing and dancing and we're being inspired, like Dr. James Magara has just inspired us. I'm not talking about here, I'm talking about there in your office. So that's where we're needed. Can he trust the new thing that God is doing? And sometimes I want to ask a Christian, preachers and people who can say, God is doing a new thing. There's a lot of prophets. He's doing a new thing. We're praying. God has told me he's doing a new thing. And we get excited about it. But do we offer ourselves and say, God, trust it with me, entrust it to me? Do we? Let's go to slide number 6. Because before God entrusts it with you, he will test you. Just like you would not hand over a delicate glass to a child until you're sure that that child is mature enough. What precious thing that God is doing in Africa at this time. Have we matured enough that God can give you this beautiful, delicate thing and trust you with it? So before he does that, are we ready to be tested? Slide number 6 is where are we tested? Simple things, and there are so many more. I just want to give you 3. Very common. How do we stand in these 3? The first is money. I honestly don't know how many Christians have been tricked and trapped and tripped by money. I have a few friends whom I've interacted. We worked together in my previous job in UNRWA. And some have come to me and asked me, what do I do? In this new place I work, everything is different. The standard of integrity is so different. Everybody takes money. What should I do? And my question is that a question? What should I do when everybody's being paid? Because when people don't want to be exposed, they pay everyone. And you find yourself different. And one actually asked me, what should I do? I was struggling not to be harsh with this person because they were really struggling. Their money is very, very little from where they came from. And I didn't know how not to say, come on, is that something you should even be asking? So people are on the verge of tripping because the standard is tested by the need they have in the house. A child is sick, the school fees is not there, and here in the office, you're being offered money that you know you don't deserve. And the question is, what should I do? Because if I don't do it, what if my son dies? What if we have no food? So money is where you're tested. And let me tell you, of the three that I'm sharing, it is the easiest because systems can catch money quickly. An audit can catch the money, or procurement is designed to ensure that money is not misused. Or we build approval levels so that, the decision to release or spend money is not resting with one person. So if your systems are resting on one person, that is not a control. That is just a risk waiting for its day to manifest. So money is where a lot of people are tested. And right now, will God entrust you if you do not have a firm stand on money? Whether it is personal money at home and how you spend it, or whether it is institutional money. I call the second one kinship because I could have called it relative, but I didn't want you to confuse it with blood relative. And let me tell you why this is harder in our context here in Africa. Because we are community people, we relate with each other beyond acquaintances. In fact, some of our relations, though may not be blood relationships, are closer to us than a blood relative. So we have very close knit, and I think it's God's design for us to survive as a continent, that we are connected. So it could be a relative, it could be a clansman, it could be the church member, it could be the friend you went to school with. It is somebody close to you. It could be somebody who helped you get where you are now. And that person can come to collect. Because one time he helped you get a job, helped you out of a sticky situation. This kind of testing does not come to you dressed as corruption or compromise. Nobody knocks on your door and says, help me steal. Or help me change a decision here. Or, I don't know, there are many things. But it comes dressed as loyalty to this relationship we have. And sometimes it comes dressed as ministry. I'm dealing with something at my church where one person is gosh, he's misusing his position. And he says it is ministry. And clearly it is not ministry. But the people whom he's talking to think it is ministry. And I can't sit back and do nothing. But now I have to deal with this person. That is what makes it so effective against people like you, this test of kinship, because of the way we are knit together. And what I've learned is to answer early. When this test comes to you, do not wait before the third or fourth compromise you've made with your relative to put a stop to it. Answer before the request becomes an expectation, because when it is a close relative, there are expectations. In URA, when we were going through the reforms, I can't forget this, there were two people I found in URA, they were relatives. And they were holding fairly significant positions. And I didn't know up to that point what their work ethic was like. But as soon as I took over, things just came to the surface. Silly things like using institutional assets in their home. And all their juniors knew it. Another one who had come in without documentation at all. And it was there, people knew. So I had taken a decision that we were going to deal with everything. Now, when it came to them, it hit me in the face and people were waiting to see how she going to handle it. So I bit the bullet, let them go, and faced backlash like you cannot believe from my relatives. I answered it early. Had I let it go, I would have sent a message to everyone else that it's all right. When it's a relative, you can do what you like. You can forgive, you can recruit, even if they don't qualify. The third point, the third area of testing is fear. Very few people confess they are afraid. God will test us in this place of fear, whether he can entrust us with the thing he is doing in Africa. Money we can confess. Family we can deal with. But very few people stand up and say, I was afraid. And yet, you know that call which comes at night? The one which terrifies you? You look at the contract that you could lose and say, I cannot lose this contract, so you backtrack. You know the consequence of being transferred when your career is taking off. You know those stories that might come on you and start, say, on a weekend, and it runs all through the weekend before you can answer for yourself. You know what I'm talking about, right? Most of the compromises I have seen is because people were afraid. Like that person who came to me and said, what should I do? He was afraid. If I don't take the money like everybody else, all these people will come at me. They will all be exposed. Fear. Fear is what makes the decision when you compromise. So of the three, this is homework now. Now, not homework, not to take away, but for you to answer now. So of the three, money, kinship, fear, which is your test? So money is number one, kinship is number two, fear is number three. Go in the chat and type 1, 2, or 3, if you are willing. If you are willing, let's see if there's any activity in the chat. I shall go to the chat and thank you people for responding. Whoa, my gosh, fear. Whoa, fear. A few money, a few kinship, and a few more than one, money and fear. I want you to take a snapshot of this slide. Money, kinship, fear. First of all, thank you people for answering. Thank you for answering. But notice, naming the one that is yours is not the same as being ready for it. On the morning it actually arrives, you need to do something. When it arrives tomorrow morning, how ready are you to deal with it? How ready are you? Let's move to slide number 7. Because I want to give you the tool I promised. But let's first go to slide number 7. 3 questions before you decide. When something difficult lands on your desk, boom. When something lands on my desk, I put through 3 questions. I put that thing to 3 questions, and they're simple. And if you want, you can type them on your phone, write them somewhere. And these are the questions. And this is honest. This is my experience. The first is, if this matter was put out in New Vision tomorrow, if it were published, not just the decision I made, but if my name was also there, and my reasons for making that decisions were also there, blazing New Vision headline, would I still make the same decision? Please notice that I did not say, would I survive that headline? The question is, would I still make the same decision? Let me tell you something that is going on right now. About 3 weeks ago, the president wrote to the IGG to investigate a road that is under construction, Busegampiji Expressway. It started with UNRA and we handed it over to the Ministry of Works. And there have been a few real big headlines with a lot of misinformation and lack of information. And I have never gone back over a project and read about it now after leaving like I have done on this one. Mainly because it is an investigation commissioned by the president. And the one question I've asked myself throughout, because as an accounting officer, I've also had to make a statement. So when the investigators called me, I needed to go with an answer to that question. Would I still make this decision? So one of the investigators asked me, has there been law? No, how do you respond to this loss, this big loss? And I told the investigator, one, there's been no loss. Some of you will be surprised to hear this because you don't know the background. And I said, I would still make the same decision. Now, that can actually put a rope around your neck if you're wrong. So what do I do when I when I'm facing and I have to make a big decision, test number one, if this came to light, be made public, would I make the same decision? If I can't answer that question honestly, then I have to go back and find why not. The second tool is my successor. Would the person sitting in the chair 5 years thank me for making this decision or spend years undoing it? If I'm no longer in this office and somebody sits there, would they make the same decision? And I'm revealing to you things which maybe in the investigation report or not. But we made a decision when I was in UNRWA on the price. Having gone, we took almost 2 years to arrive at that 1.3 trillion you are seeing in the papers, which has made such alarm for good reason that a lot of people don't know what is composed in that in the 1.3 trillion, or that it's actually not 1.3 trillion, but there's a difference between the initial contract and the final contract, which is about 700 billion. But that's beside the point. But my successor, who is the Ministry of Works, came to exactly the same amount. They actually put in a completely different team, reviewed the entire design, reviewed all the quantities, reviewed everything, including time delay, and came to the same amount. So would the person sitting in this chair in 5 years thank me for this or spend 2 years? I cannot tell you the relief I felt when I heard that Ministry of Works had come to the same amount. And they didn't consult me, they didn't talk to me, they actually created a completely new team. This one is uncomfortable because a great deal of what looks like decisiveness today is simply a bill posted to somebody who has not yet arrived. So you're making a decision now which somebody who has not arrived yet, might arrive 5 years, will decide whether they stick with it or not. And the third thing I must do is prayer, is the altar. When I make this decision, can I take it to church on Sunday without needing to explain it to God first? Can I go into Sunday service without making excuses, without needing to convince myself? You will find that you know the answer to that one immediately. I need to move fast because I have very few minutes left. Now, so take the decision you brought with you tonight and put it through these three. Okay? And here's what I found. When something fails one of those three, it was never a hard decision. It was an easy decision that I had not yet accepted. Let's move to slide number 8 so I can begin to wrap up. This, just to say again, as we go into slide 8, that all this is about the decision that is yours alone. But very little of the damage I have watched was done in anybody's private decision. It was done afterwards by the organization once somebody else had already decided badly. I hope you're reflecting on those things. Let me say something to us here in particular, because we're believers and I think this is where we are weakest. We are people of grace. Ekisa kimumale We are people of grace. We cover each other with grace. And somewhere along the way, we translate grace to mean no consequences. So somebody does something wrong, grace covers that. And grace washes away the consequences. And then we began to wonder why our institutions are rotting while our prayer
Mrs.
meetings.
Allen,
Yes. Yes.
unfortunately, I am being told that we have about 3 minutes left.
Did I use my
don't
40
know
minutes?
how.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
Okay, that was 40 minutes. Okay, then I can go to the gosh. This is hard. I don't know what to do because I've left out very important slides. Okay, let's move to slide 10. You can skip slide 9 and 8. Whatever decision you make, it is going to cost you. It will cost you a friendship. It may cost you a contract. So make the decision early what it will cost you. Decide it now before it manifests. We're moving swiftly into slide number 11 so that I can say something about legacy. Because slide 11 is about legacy. Legacy is not about building with your name on it. Legacy is what you leave behind, who you leave behind. Who is ready that you prepared? And it would be good, friends, if we actually named names. Legacy is what stays standing, what stays working, who stays standing, who stays working after you've left. And that decision is very important that it is made tonight. We'll go to slide number 13 because I need to close with this last minute. These slides are yours and I will leave them with you. Let me just say this one thing, that of everything that I've had the opportunity and really the honor to present tonight, nothing will happen at this summit, at any summit. It will happen on your desk. It will happen in your bedroom. It will happen, nobody's watching. The tests that you put your decisions through. So tomorrow, as you go back to your office, pick the one thing that you've been uncomfortable to deal with. Test it. Search it. Ask yourself, why is this sitting here uncomfortably? Because the truth is that what those small things that we're not able to do may be the things that are holding us back from God and trusting the good thing, the new thing that He wants to do. So do it this week, not next week. Thank you and God bless you.
I don't know what to say. I do not know where to start from after this great ministration, but I'm going to request the audience, tap an emoji, put your hands together. You can type a comment in the chat and let us thank the great woman of God for this great ministration that she has done to us. Thank you very much for impacting the leaders that are out there and influencing the marketplace. And honestly speaking, I have seen my direction, I have named my weaknesses, and I must say I'm starting a journey to deal with them and know what will I do when they come face to face with me. Thank you very much, Mrs. Allen. May God truly, truly bless you. Now, because of a time constraint, we are going to move all the questions to the main group so that even those that did not get the benefit of listening to you can at least pick something through the questions that are going to be asked and through the different sharings. And also, I would like to request that in case you're able to, for those slides that you jumped, they could come in as you answer various questions in the main chat so that whoever did not get the benefit, the opportunity of coming here, that they can honestly catch up and their lives can equally be transformed. But thank you very much. Let us have those questions and be ready to type them in the chat as we are going back.